Every year, the city attorney's office has to give a training to all the City of Santa Fe employees about the ethics code. And last year, even though I'm new here, my boss asked me to give it. It was a big, big deal. And it went so great. There was so much laughter. People had such a good time. Afterwards, people came up to me and they said, "Zach Chandler, we had no idea you were so funny." It was like you were channeling, Barack Obama and Robin Williams at the same time. And I said, "It's not that big of a deal. That's my training. My training's in entertainment law." And they said, "Wow. Like, do you represent Hollywood agents and superstars?" And I say, no. My training is making law entertaining, entertainment law. It was such a big hit that I got this mug, #1 in ethics, well, off Craigslist, from a former city employee from Albuquerque. Welcome. Let me introduce you to my co-worker, Irene Romero. Irene's been here, I don't know, forever. She's pretty much part of the furniture here, right? Anyway, we have a great time here. We always do go back and forth, banter, laughter, work hard, play hard here at the city attorney's office. We're always giving each other like ethical zingers, aren't we? Right?
No.
Oh, well, let's start today. Carp ethics. I start every day at the city of Santa Fe with 3 sayings: carpe diem, carpe living, and carpe ethics. Because Gandhi said, and he's a huge influence on me, that in order to be ethical, you need to know that you're ethical to know that you've been ethical. Or maybe that's from Kung Fu Panda movies, I'm not sure. So the code for ethics in Santa Fe has this principle that employees like ourselves should have a standard of behavior where we don't make decisions based on personal benefit. What does all that mean to you? Quick.
Don't take bribes.
Don't take bribes. But wait, what if it's out of the workplace at my kid's softball practice? Is that okay?
It's Santa Fe.
Aha! So is that okay?
No, someone's going to post it on Facebook.
People gossip on Facebook? Come on. Oh, you're too much. But I know this. I try to learn 3 new ethical things every day here, and there's no better place. I know. There's a lot of people that say you can't say the City of Santa Fe employees and ethics in the same sentence. And what I say to them is, well, didn't you just hear me? I just used them in the same sentence. Oh, you're back. The game is afoot. What ethical zinger do you have for me?
Here's your check.
My check? Are you trying to bribe the chief inspector, mademoiselle?
No, it's your paycheck.
Oh, you're right, I earned it. You're 2 for 2 for ethical zingers. But how about this one? The definition of conflict of interest means a specific prospect of money gain that's not small or shared with a substantial segment of the general public, but that benefits you, yourself, your family member, your business, a business owned by a family member, a church group, or a union. So, can I make a decision at work that benefits my brother-in-law?
No.
What about my wife's business?
No.
My wife's nonprofit?
No.
My glibbity globbity gloop?
No. That's gibberish.
See, ethics can be fun here. There's banter. We go back and forth, question, answer, question, answer. For ethics, we're kind of like Captain and Janelle.
Captain and Tennille.
See, we finish each other's sentences here.
There are some people that are actually trying to get some work done here.
Irene, what do we have here in the morning mail? Something tells me that it reads, it's a letter from a citizen that wants to give me half price on a new boat if I write a notice of violation against his neighbor. Should I do it?
Absolutely not.
Oh, Irene, I'm glad you're here. This is big. This just came in. This is a lease the city has with the Boys and Girls Club. But I'm on the board of directors for the Boys and Girls Club. Can I look at this lease?
I need to assign it to someone.
You could say I'm proud. I mean, I've been training Irene all this time, and she's become an ethical ninja. That's the first thing I've learned today, that Irene is an ethical ninja. You just can't crack her. But there are other nuts I think I could crack here at City Hall. Yeah, there's a fair amount of nuts here at City Hall.
There's a lot of great people that work here at the city. And of course, we have our share of idiots too.
Let me introduce you to my coworker, Bernadette Romero. Dono me gato Bernadette Romero. Dono me gato Bernadette Romero. What's up? What's up? Me, I've been busy, really busy, doing ethics stuff up to my head and my ears. You know how I'm carp ethics. I got a question for you. My brother is thinking of leasing some city property. Can I be involved with that?
No.
Can I be part of the bid selection committee?
No.
Can I try to smooth that along in City Hall by attending some meetings?
No.
Can I tell the bid selection committee how great a businessman my brother is?
No.
You're pretty good in ethics. Say, a couple of us after work, we're gonna get some drinks, kind of some bonding. Don't worry, you don't have to go home and change. You got a sexy outfit going on right now. You up for it?
Excuse me?
I got you to say something besides no. What are you doing?
Writing a complaint to HR for sexual harassment. Don't even get me started.
City employees are always asking me about gifts. Can I receive this? Can I not? I heard of a story of someone got 5 $100 bills as gifts from citizens, and he posted it on Facebook. Don't do that. He wouldn't have done that if he'd heard my presentation. I know the person that did the presentation before would be really boring and say things like, a gift is something that money you receive from someone that you know is going to benefit from your action, and only they're going to benefit from your action. But when I did my presentation, I tried to lively it up. So I did it in like a Donald Trump voice. I said, don't accept huge gifts or you'll be fired. But no one seemed to get it. The room was silent. But, I'm trained in improv. So I got out my phone and I said, Siri, how do you define a gift? And she said, a gift is something you receive without the expectation of something in return. And all the light bulbs went on. Everyone got it. I think if Donald Trump is president, he should have Siri as his vice president, because they explain things so clearly to people. Sure, I eat lunch at my desk sometimes, but sometimes I go out. I have this plumber friend that likes to pull permits from the city, and we go out and he buys me a lunch occasionally, as long as it's less than $50 and it's occasional. Now we have this joke, he always says, what's occasional? And I say, I don't know, ask a lawyer. Don't you get it? Because I'm a lawyer. Anyway, it kills at Applebee's every other Wednesday. Hi, Bernadette. I wanted to make up to you for what I said earlier, so I got these tickets from my plumber friend. They're at the Lensic, and I thought maybe we could sit next to each other.
This ticket's more than $50.
Well, that's not a problem under the ethics code. The ethics code says you can get a gift over $50 if it's irrelevant to your official work.
What does this have to do with my job?
Well, I was expecting to say thank you, but I guess we could talk about work maybe during the intermission. All right, so if you're going to be a super stickler, here are the rules. You can accept a gift over $50 as long as it's related to your official work duties, you have permission from the city manager, and you report it to the city clerk. Are you still interested?
I think our boss should ban gifts from this office.
Whoa, ban gifts? That's even beyond the ethics code. That's a personnel decision if your boss wants to ban gifts. And, but if your boss does ban gifts and you're insubordinate, I guess you'd end up with a personnel matter. I'm guessing you don't really like personnel matters. Okay, well, let me take a stand, all right? I won't accept a gift over $50, but if I do, I won't accept gift cards because they're like financial instruments. I mean, and just the perception of a city employee getting gift cards, it's like, oh, I'm a Kardashian, look at me spending my gift cards from the citizens. Is that impressing you?
No.
Everyone's so paranoid about accepting gifts. The first month that I was here, St. Vincent's put on an event in the courtyard. And they were giving out free water bottles, and I went down there and I got around 4 of them. It was awesome. And then I thought to myself, well, wait a second, in work I deal with plan review with St. Vincent's. But of course, knowing the ethics code as I do, there's an exception, and that gifts shared with the general public are okay. And since St. Vincent's was giving the water bottles not just to city employees, but to everyone, I was fine. And I wasn't thirsty anymore.
I can't remember anyone ever giving me a gift. They gave me a pen once, but it didn't even write.
A constituent was so happy with the service you provided in your capacity with the city. She wants to do something special for you. Which of the following are acceptable? A. Letter of commendation to the city manager. B. Gift card to Tomasitas, $20. C. Free movie passes. The answer is A. You need to avoid accepting gift cards and movie passes.
Irene, have you seen this newspaper? I'm quoted in it. Pretty strong quote, ethical, very bold.
This is 3 months old.
I'm a public figure now. I'm thinking about taking it the next level. Can I tell you a secret? I'm going to run for city council. I know it's work hours. Will you support me?
No.
Well, I really think it'd be smart for your career to support me. Will you?
No.
I'm technically your supervisor. Will you support me? Okay, I see you're playing tough to get. I'm expert in a negotiation. Let's see, I'm sizing you up. You're a woman. You like jewelry and shiny things. How about I put you on the art commission? Will you support me?
No.
Well, how about this? Maybe you want a more cushy job. I hear at the airport things are really easy. They just answer the phone and like, look, Susan Sarandon just got off the airplane. So if I reassigned you to the airport, would you support me? Okay, maybe this is too complicated for you. Just blink if you'll support me. Okay, I'm having a hard time making eye contact with you. You can always volunteer on your own time. If you want to volunteer for me, how about we make this easy? Why don't you just breathe? I'll know you want to volunteer for me during off hours. Yes, my first voter. Yes.
Zach has some good qualities. He's persistent, kind of like a bad rash.
A very, very bad rash.
Special delivery from the $6 million man, Steve Austin. And I feel like $6 million now that I'm running. Irene, here's one of my yard signs. Can I stick it up in your office?
Are you serious?
Okay, how about you put it in the back of your work vehicle, and when you have a chance, just hop out, put it in one of the city right-of-ways. Can you do that for me?
No.
Okay, I'll make it a bumper sticker. Can you put a bumper sticker on your work vehicle?
No.
Okay, well, I hear you have some Hot Wheels on your personal vehicle. Will you put a bumper sticker on your personal vehicle?
That's allowed, but no. I could report him to the ethics board, or I could report him to HR. If one of your subordinates spends all morning campaigning for a city councilor, it is okay to allow the subordinate to put in for only 1 hour of leave. Okay, not okay. It is not okay. If the subordinate was out all morning, he or she needs to put in a leave slip for half the day.
Did you read my campaign email?
No.
Well, it's almost after hours. Go ahead and read it.
No.
I'm going to keep using my city email for politics.
No.
I'm going to keep using my city email for politics.
No.
You're like the discount double check person. You keep saying the same thing. Well, what if it's an email for a union campaign?
Union elections are governed by CBA.
CBA, MBA, I just need you to read my email.
Your subordinate's uncle is running for public office in the city of Santa Fe. Can the subordinate tack a campaign flyer up on the subordinate's office door? Yes or no? The answer is no.
Politicians aren't the only ones asked to give speeches. I'm asked to give speeches all the time. What does the ethics code say about it? Well, there's 4 rules. Number 1, the speech has to be related to your job duties. 2, you can't be paid for giving a speech. That really cuts into my side income. 3, if you have to travel, like I go to Taos all the time because I'm a planning and zoning expert, and the Taos planning process is so bad. They're nice people up there though. But if you do have to travel, you're allowed to be reimbursed for your lodging and travel. Rule number 4 is you have to report your reimbursables in writing to the city clerk. And I know. The city attorney's office is always saying no, 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 no. I mean, Bernadette and Irene, I love them like family. And they say no to me all the time. And I have no idea why. But, that's somehow it is with your family. Your family has to tell you no. So for example, you cannot be a paid consultant for a business that has projects in front of the city. In fact, you have to wait a whole year after you leave the city before you can be a paid consultant for someone that has city business. It's totally unfair. Do you think they made Bill and Hillary wait a year before they cashed in? No. And it gets worse. If you have confidential information, you can't leak it to your advantage. So if you know the city's about to buy some land, you can't tell your mother-in-law to buy the land right next to it. I know, it's just no, 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 no. Well, you can have a second job. I know a lot of people have to here in Santa Fe. But it can't be related to city business and it has to be in off hours. I know, it's tough. But you don't get to have this mug on your desk for nothing. No way.
The Kiwanis Club asks you to talk about your job with the city at their next lunch meeting at Hotel Santa Fe. They will not pay you for giving the speech. You will be their guest for lunch, and the value of the lunch is $40. Can you accept their luncheon invitation? Yes or no? Yes, you can accept the invitation. The lunch cost is less than $50.
You just retired from the city of Santa Fe. How long do you have to wait before you can offer your services as a consultant to the department from which you retired? A, 6 months. B, 1 year. C, never. Don't you understand I'm retired? The answer is B. You have to wait 1 year.
Did you get my email?
Stop emailing me.
It's not a campaign email. It's personal.
Stop emailing me.
Well, I sent it to your work account, but it was from my personal device. Is that a public document? You're telling me when I send an email to your work account through my personal device, it's a public document? You're not going to show that attachment to HR, are you?
I just added to my complaint. Emails are used to communicate all kinds of information. Your emails may be available for public inspection. True or false? True.
You should know that if a citizen comes in and asks for basic things like a brochure or a bus schedule, you can just give it to them. You don't need to make them fill out a public records request. An old city attorney told me a story of an old lady that was dropped off at a city building, and she comes in and asks for a bus schedule. And the city worker says, "No, we don't have those. You're going to have to go to another city building." So the old lady gets on a bus, goes to the other city building. She gets out there and goes in and says, "Can I have a bus schedule?" And the city worker says, "No, you're going to have to request a public records for the bus schedule. You need to go down to City Hall." So the old lady gets back on another bus and heads down to City Hall. Meanwhile, someone calls up Bernadette and says, "You should expect this lady. She's coming." And so the lady comes and goes to Bernadette, and Bernadette says,
Do you need a bus route map, ma'am?
"No, thank you," says the older lady. "I'm pretty familiar with the bus routes now."
The custodian for public records for the City of Santa Fe is A, City Clerk's Office, B, City Attorney's Office. The answer is B. The records custodian is located at the City Attorney's Office.
Ethics also includes the open government laws, like the Open Meetings Act and the Inspection of Public Records Act, but I don't pay too much attention to them because it's hard to fit them as a slogan on a mug.
Please don't do that. Did you get your agenda to the city clerk's office?
I've been so busy researching ethics that I forgot to turn my agenda into the city clerk's office for the planning commission. But the meeting's in 2 days. I'm okay, right?
Nope.
Correct again, ethical ninja. An agenda has to be published 72 hours in advance of the meeting. But don't worry, there's an emergency exception, and I have an emergency.
What's the emergency?
Well, if we don't have this meeting on time, the city manager's going to be really angry at me. That's an emergency, right?
No.
If we don't have this meeting on time, then it's going to be really embarrassing in the newspapers. That's an emergency, right?
Nope.
If we don't have this meeting on time, there's a tornado inside and there's going to be life and safety issues to the city. Is that an emergency? No tornado today, Dorothy, but you never know. There's no magical ruby slippers that you click together for ethics and open governments. You just have to live it.
You can put a voting item on the agenda for a public meeting 48 hours before the meeting. True or false? False. A voting item on the agenda has to be published 72 hours prior to the meeting.
Bernadette, we got a fax. It's a public records request. They filled out their name and their address and how much they're willing to pay. Do I give it to you and you scan it and you send it to the relevant departments?
Yes.
Wow! You said yes! I knew I could crack you eventually. But let me ask you this. So if we have the records, do we have to turn it over in 3 days?
Yes.
And if we don't have them in 3 days, do we have to turn them over in 15 days?
Yes.
And that's not just 15 days for them to get you the records. That's the records custodian has to get it out in 15 days, right?
Yes.
But what if it's a huge request? It's excessive. Can we ask for more than 15 days?
Yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have 4 or 5 yeses in a row. Siri, what do you say to that? Do we have a connection here? I think so. Now, honestly, the thing I don't get, Bernadette, is it said in the paper the other day that we had to pay $60,000 to citizens when we didn't provide the records to them.
No, the city has to pay the citizens.
The city has to pay the citizens? So if the city of Albuquerque doesn't provide police videos on time, they have to pay citizens $60,000?
Yes.
Whoa! Out of my mind!
I am the public records custodian, but sometimes I feel like the public records janitor because I'm always cleaning up other people's.
$60,000 to a citizen. $60,000 to a citizen. I don't even recognize America anymore.
The 15-day deadline is A, my deadline to get the documents to the records custodian, or B, the records custodian's deadline to get the information to the requester. The records custodian's deadline to get the information to the requester is 15 days. You need to provide the records to the records custodian well before the 15-day deadline.
Research, research, research. That's how I remain an ethical ninja. The New Mexico courts have recently said that just about every government document is a public record. That means our emails, our RFPs, our draft reports, they're all public. It's like everyone wants to see our dirty laundry. Makes me think of that Chris Rock routine about dirty laundry, where there's a priest and a rabbi bringing their dirty laundry to the laundromat, and the rabbi says, "Priest, what's in there?"
Draft reports are subject to inspection. True or false? True. Draft reports are subject to inspection.
It's hard to talk about ethics without telling some jokes, but I'll tell that one later. It just kills every time I tell it. But if you are asked to collect records for the records custodian, gather them all and send it to the records custodian. because she has a crack team of paralegals and lawyers that can sort out what's private and what's public, because the law does allow some things to remain private. What's private? Well, makes me think of that OJ joke. When OJ goes up to Marcia Clark, she was the prosecutor, and OJ's like, hey, I've got something that's private. And Marcia Clark says, how private? And OJ says,
It's amazing how any work gets done around here. Well, that's another day for you.
I thought it was a good day. I learned my 3 things. 1, Irene is an ethical ninja. 2, if the city doesn't provide records on time, we have to pay money to people. Unbelievable. And 3, well, here's my sexual harassment complaint against me. And I learned that it goes in a personnel file, which is confidential and private. It's good to know that there's exceptions to the public records law. And here's the best thing. HR asked me to review this overnight for the meeting tomorrow. I bet they want me to do the HR training for next year. City of Santa Fe, you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Carpe diem. Carpe living. Carpe ethics.